Welcome back to another read and review. This time we're doing an ASM number 34, legacy number 928. It's been a while since I've made a video, and I wanted to continue with this. So the way that we're going to be doing the new read and reviews are going to be a little bit different. Instead of me, going on and kind of recapturing it, I'm just going to kind of give my review portion on the book. That way it kind of leaves a little bit to the imagination for the viewers. So let's get into it. So, if you guys remember where we left off, right, in issue 33, we've seen that obviously Peter's taking on the role of the Goblin, right? So this Goblin spear between Kraven the Hunter and then the Goblin Queen was supposed to stab Norman. Then it missed. Peter jumped in the way. Peter's got the Green Goblin serum. I don't know how you would want to describe it, but that's pretty much where we're looking at, right? And so in the book, right, we first, see Harlem Hospital and the events that taken place after the wedding, right? The wedding issue with Tombstone being, stabbed. And Tombstone's on, life support at the time. And we kind of see the doctors rush in saying, who unplugged it? And it turns out it was Spider-Man who came in. Obviously, he's rocking the black suit. You see him laughing through the air as he is swinging out of frame. So basically what's going on is he's going through and essentially going through to all his villains and trying to torture them / kill them in ways to get his vengeance back for all the crimes and wrongdoings that have happened. So as we left off, right, so Kraven is basically buried at this point. Peter's left him with a gun and a choice, right? Matches a gun or his father's gun, and says, well, either you're going to suffocate or you could take, the way out by doing the deed, right? However, while that's going on in the story, we also have Norman, who is frantic because he knows what's going to happen to Peter. He's got the Goblin serum essentially from the last issue in him. He's gone mad, so he's trying to warn Paul and Mary Jane. And if you're like me or, any other, it seems like the majority of the fan base and the majority of the readers of ASM are kind of in a unanimous decision of Paul kind of sucks. So with that being said, I think it's going to be a big thing where we're going to go forward in the story of seeing if Paul is going to end up, it's going to be this whole thing, and it's going to be a pretty interesting story arc. I think I like where the story might be heading, that's for sure. So while this is going on, Norman is trying to warn Paul and them. And they end up taking the tunnel, right, to kind of be oh shit, Peter's on this killing spree, / he's looking to go and torture his, enemies and this and that. So while that's happening, meanwhile, Norman warns them. They start leaving town to get off the island. Norman goes back to his apartment where we see Peter waiting for him in the dark, and he beats the crap out of Norman, leaving him a bloody, unconscious mess. While this is happening, Peter comes out in almost like a bat suit, flying into the tunnel looking for Paul and Mary Jane, which is really interesting. And then we leave off with Kraven, we think, dying, but we actually not. We see him get dug out by Norman, who now has the Goblin spear, which I think is going to kind of turn him back into the Goblin to save Peter. I'm not too sure about that part, but I'm interested in where this is going to go. And then on top of that, we have the Goblin Queen intercepting Peter, saying that this is not his destiny, which is also interesting of what's the Goblin Queen going to do? This wasn't the original plan, so where do we go from here, I guess, is the real question. So, while that is wrapped up there, that is kind of where we end off on The Amazing Spider-Man number 34, number 928. And, again, I'm trying to do a little bit different kind of take with these issues now. Instead of the traditional, the way that I was doing it before, where I was kind of going panel by panel, I kind of wanted more free-flowing of me just kind of summarizing up the key points that I felt were big talking points about the issue. So that may be why it's a little bit jumbled. Also, really quick thing, and this is more of an update for the channel. You're going to see more videos come out. I am recording. I had to record kind of not with all my typical gear. for everything, but I want to get more videos out there. And the reason why I haven't been uploading so much in the last 2 weeks has been kind of like personal things with school, work, and etc. So that's why I've been kind of a distance a little bit. But I will be back, so please stay tuned for more content. And until next time, please subscribe, like for more, and comment. What do you think about this issue? I mean, I'm going to take a good, raise of hands, and people are like, okay, is this going to go to the section where, Paul, Mary Jane, what's going to happen? I think these next few issues are going to be pretty crucial, and I'm going to be doing that video soon. So, again, make sure you do yourself a favor. Go like, subscribe for more, and until next time, thanks.